Good morning. It's morning. Definitively morning, 9:15. What are we doing? I decided to stream early today. I just kind of felt like streaming early. And I'm going to turn on more lights in my office. What are we gonna do? How about I let you all decide? Let's see what we do. We have Leica here, which I have to finish up, and we also have. Oh, this is an old one. We also have Shovel Knight, Sci-Fi Shovel Knight here, which I need to finish up. So you all vote with your little typers as to which one you want to see tackled, and I will tackle this accordingly. You all aren't voting. You're supposed to be voting. Let's see. Well, then, until the votes come in, I'm just going to start working on this thing. What's today's date? It's the 31st. I have to do my Patreon plugging here. It is the last day to get in on this Yoshi's Island map giveaway. Anyone who pledges $5 and above this month will be entered to win one of 5 of these suckers. I'll make it nice and big so you can actually see it. And that ends today. And then the print this month, if you want to pledge $15, is little Mary Poppins and his buddy Tiny Groot. All right, so that's the Patreon plug, and I will make, let's see. All right, that's one vote for Shovel Knight. That's the only vote that we've received. So I think that Shovel Knight wins by default. Is that what's happening? Is that what is happening here? Let's see. First of all, let me go ahead and finish making this. How is everyone today? I guess it's early, so unless something bad happened on the way to work or something, you maybe should be doing okay. Although our dear glorious leader is pulling out of the Paris Accords. But I won't talk about that too much. For that, you have Twitter. Let's see. Make mask, invert mask. Let's see. So this band wraps around him. So yeah, breakfast. Breakfast is good and important. I have eaten breakfast. I am drinking coffee. Everything's coming up, Alex. Let's see. Why is this? That's odd. Why is this opaque? Very odd. Yeah, let's just make the gradients down here on the bottom. All right, so Shovel Knight. Let's hop back on over to Shovel Knight here. I'll save this. Also, good news. I got email this morning from the guy that I'm working on a movie poster for his short film, and that he is totally okay with me streaming that process. So So that'll start probably sooner rather than later. And we can see if I can still remember how to Photoshop. The direction that we're going, let's see here. Let's see, this is the PDF that I sent him yesterday. This will be the direction that we're going, which is through the film is about this guy going to Kathmandu and getting on a drug trip to kind of escape his cancer diagnosis. Diagnosis. You say diagnosis. I say diagnosis. And the film is kind of, there are these quick cuts of these like macro shots of like really saturated like things that are supposed to represent like cells and this cancer spreading. And so we'll do a head-on shot of the main character with these like cells and stuff floating around him. And I think that we're going to like kind of hit this like Inherent Vice kind of color palette here. So pretty saturated. But also work in some of the typography from that area in Nepal. And so, I don't know whether it'll like take the form of this poster where the image is kind of a square and then there's a white space down here. But, we'll figure that out as we get to making it. But, so that'll be fun. Fun to get some Photoshop work on the stream. Hello, Isabella. All right. What am I doing with this? So this is supposed to be like a lightsaber blades shovel blade. Well, hello, Emma. Greetings from the United States, where we're all not as bad as our political leadership. It's almost dinner time there, huh? All right. I have a meeting everyone at 11, so that's when the stream will end. How do I make this look like a shining... Let's see. I'm going to try some stuff here. Let's see, because you can't... Like, I'm trying to stay true to the palette. So I don't want to do like any like opacity stuff or anything like that. So maybe I can make it like kind of like crackle. I think of like Kylo Ren's lightsaber here. Maybe... No, that looks bad. Well, maybe it's just because I didn't do it well. This is looking worse and worse. Making it worse. You're picking at the scab. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, I don't prefer one to the other. It's, whatever tool is necessary for the job. Sometimes you need a drill, sometimes you need a hammer. Most of my work has me working in Illustrator. It's like vector-based illustrations and stuff. I prefer Photoshop stability to Illustrator. Illustrator is pretty bad on that front. Let's see if this... I'm treating this blade... Excuse me. I'm treating this blade like the light source, so... No, this is just for fun. This is the character Shovel Knight from the game of his namesake, Shovel Knight. But I'm just doing like a sci-fi spin on him for funsies. Thank you. I'm doing well. I had a pretty productive day yesterday. It's the first day back from vacation, so that was good. And today I have a call with the client about a exciting project if it all pans out, which I think it will. An exciting and familiar project. Let's see here. So yeah, I'm doing well. I woke up at 6 yesterday for some reason and started working at like 6:30 and told myself that I would take off early yesterday because of it, but I didn't really do that. So today I might actually take off early. I have a back stairwell to paint here, and I have a back stairwell to paint and a deck. Not a deck, a pergola. I have a pergola to stain. Yeah, I do a mix of illustration and design, depending on how you want to look at it. Some people put me more in the camp of illustration. Well, I guess as soon as I started saying it, it sounded disingenuous. I would say most people put me in the camp of illustration, even though I still think of myself as a designer. But yeah, you can find my work at here. Also, like, according to my events thing over there on the left, someone named Rocky 720p 60 followed. And Emma followed. Emma, You're actually here, so thank you for following. Hey, Jeff. Hey, Silence. How do I make this, like, crackly and not just look like a fire? This looks a little better. All right. New to Twitch. Do you watch any gaming stuff, or did you just come on to Twitch for like creative streams and the like? I know Twitch's gaming scene is much bigger than the creative one. Make his belt buckle. I think the thing that's been most fun with this illustration is sticking with the original game's palette, so it's actually a sprite that can work, like if it were theoretically put into the game, just because, and it's fun to look at the original sketch that I made. Whew, excuse me. So you can see in this base sprite of the game, all of the highlights are white. But there can only be so many colors in a sprite. And so when he's by a campfire in the game, all that white is replaced with this like yellow color. And that yellow color, let's see, is that the same? I don't think it's the same color. It is not. So let's switch that. Let's select one, and then we can go to select same fill color and sample that. Yeah, I mean, I do pixel art and Illustrator, which is not. If you intend to use pixel art practically, like in a game or something, you would not make pixel art like this. Make it in like Photoshop or a pixel art specific program. But for my purposes, I like making pixel art in Illustrator. It's not really a comfort thing so much as it is a process thing. Like I like that it makes me slow down and kind of consider each piece as I place it. And I don't know, it's easier. The reason that I got into pixel art to begin with was that I liked the idea of making an image out of as like few squares as possible. And that's changed some as I've gotten more comfortable with it. I can like make more detailed imagery out of more squares if I feel like it. But yeah, I just really like the process of moving squares around until it becomes a larger image. And I feel like that process is a little more pure in Illustrator than Photoshop. Let's make a little skull. There was a skull in the sketch after all. I haven't really made any backgrounds. I've made, let's see here. Let's see, we'll look at my old site. I think my old site has, oof, that's not good. Pixel art. I mean, I made stuff like this, which are, this is based off of this kid's, oh my god. My old site is a little busted. Pixel art 2. Yeah, so I've made like, I made stuff like this and things like this. So I've made like a few like little like scenes, but yeah. And these I made in Photoshop. This one and this one. Just because it's probably a little too much for Illustrator. But like little things like this, like I made most of these other ones in Illustrator. I like my little Xbox controllers. Good lord, I made a lot of pixel stuff that I've forgotten about. The Mordor Mario map is one of my favorites. Yeah. But I like made this one in Illustrator, I think. It's a little more in-depth than the rest. And then I take them into Photoshop and I animate them there. Yeah, I almost always try to start projects with pen and paper. I have my handy dandy sketchbook that I take everywhere. Yeah, that just helps me get a lot of the iteration done on screen or off screen. And so I kind of I go into the project with a pretty solid idea of what I'm working towards, like this. And I'll make little changes kind of along the way, just because the best laid plans, surviving contact with the enemy or something like that. Sorry, I'm looking at something on my other screen. I'm not dead or dying. Well, I'm dying in the same way we're all dying, but a friend sent me a preview of his new site, which looks very nice. And I got distracted. All right, I'm undistracted. What are we doing? We're making a pixel shovel knight. Is that what we're doing? Would light hit that? Sure, we'll say light will hit that. No, Twitch didn't freeze. I froze. The thing is, with so few palettes, it's hard to put like I want there to be buttons on the side of this. Like how do you communicate that they're buttons with just a single pixel? Oh yeah, I was making a skull. That's what I was. Skulls make everything better. It is. Them's just facts. Why? What makes it look like a Chad? Why? Why? I would love to hear this explanation. It looks bad right now. Just like a gut feeling that you have that skull would be a Chad. Let's see, what else? Let's see, we got Shovel Knight, treasure, gems. There's gems, there's treasure things. Let's see, I'm just gonna bring up. So we got little gems like that we can put in here too. You all ask the important questions here. I'm gonna say that he is neither protecting Chad. He didn't kill him. I think Chad's remains just happen to be wherever Shovel Knight is. Should the skull have eyes? No. The skulls have eyes. Oh boy. Ooh, that Tokyo 42 game comes out today. I've been looking forward to that game. Well, maybe it'll be bad. Maybe it won't be good. Well, it looks pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, controls are a little off. How does it control, I wonder? I guess I haven't watched anyone play it. I'd never thought about how you actually control it. Oh, interesting. Do they have a launch trailer? A lot of things have launch trailers. Here we go. You can watch the launch trailer with no sound, so you can get a better idea of what we're talking about. It looks so nice. Oh god, it looks like it turns into like a bullet hell shooter sometimes. That looks pretty cool. Yeah, it reminds me of. I don't know if any of y'all have played Frozen Synapse. It's like the same kind of like isometric perspective, although it's like much more tactical. But there's still like a lot of the game is around like sight lines and like lining up shots around corners and stuff like that and getting like tactical advantage over whoever you're playing against. This looks like it has some aspects of that. Nice. Neat. Nice. Oh, mode 7 helped. That's cool. Well, there you go. I guess that makes sense why it reminds me of Frozen Synapse. All right, I think that this is in a good spot. I think I'm running out of things to tinker with. Should we figure out a background color now? Purple. All right, well, I think we can call that a wrap on old Shovel Knight. I don't think I'm gonna animate it. I think we'll leave it as is, and I'll give it out as one of the files for this month for Patreon people. I would like to animate it, but I should really be focusing on using a little downtime in between big projects to work on Astro Alphabet here. Oh, we can blend it. Yeah, let's blend it. Let's see. Let's put all the reference on a reference layer here. Have we blended pixel art on here before? I don't know that we have. This is going to be a new experiment. Let's see. How big is this artboard? 800 by 600? That's fine. Let's see, so that it stays aligned to the pixel grid. This will be my very good way of finding the center here. All right, let's blend it. So we'll select everything. Look at what it looks like in no design mode. Look at that, isn't that fun? All right, select all. All right, let's. Will it blend? Oh, weird. That's actually kind of interesting. The bones are still there. It's weird because it still like kept a lot of the outlines. It like added more pixels here. It's really weird. These like areas. Oh, wow. It only gets more interesting when you zoom in. Look at that. Look at that. Look at those pixels. Yeah, Chad. Chad had a bad time. Looks like a Tycho cover. Yeah. The gradient's kind of nice. Sometimes blend mode knows what's up. All right. Oh, there we go. That's done. Or is it? Okay, now it's done. Back to you, puppy dog. It's the always anticlimactic ending finishing something on stream. Is it done? Yeah, it's done. All right. Moving along. I actually want the gradient just up here. What does that translate to? Big old dead pupper. Let's see. Let's see, let's go and mess with the grain settings here. We can make it less intense and thanks, Ollie. I think that I think, this is going to be a Kickstarter, and I think that one of the stretch goals that we might do, I don't think we'll make it because this thing is already going to cost like 18 grand to produce. So I think that's going to be like around the baseline. We're not 100% sure yet, but I think it's going to be somewhere around there. And I would like for one of the stretch goals to be like, like how some stuff has like that grainy, rough texture, just because I think it will suit the illustration style really well. It'll complement that. And it'll give the cards like an added tactile feel, which since they're for children, I think will be like a really nice addition. But God knows how much a printing technique like that will run us. All right, let's see. Let's look at... This camera is never in the right position anymore. I think it's because I move around too much when I make stuff. Let's see. Freelance design. Yeah, we'll definitely ask and see. I think the next card I'm going to make is going to be a white dwarf, but I have to figure out which card would be the best. Let's use Venus, I think, as a base for white dwarf. Let's see. Thanks, Isabella. Yeah, the gradient is a nice suggestion of a helmet without really illustrating too much. It lets the viewer do the mental gymnastics to get to a helmet. Old Tato. Tato. What's that? Also, hi, Jessica. I'm gonna watch your leg. Let's see. 50 minutes until meeting. Okay. We can do this. All right. Let's save this as white dwarf. Let's bring up. Ow. White. Migs has been filling out our Astro Alphabet spreadsheet here with facts and stuff. Let's see. We'll highlight Leica as green. Good to go. And we'll start on White Dwarf. Megs had the idea, the White Dwarf, since it's a star that's burned all of its energy, that it would be a little sleeping star. So it'll have a little sleepy face. Maybe put a few Z's on it. White Dwarf. What are those eyes? Those eyes are creepy. All right, so oh God, that's a that breaks the. Oh God! All right. Let's see. I'm trying to think. There's a few of these where the letters. Leica is also weird because I don't think it fills. Let's see. Let's do a little test here. Let's see. Copy. Yeah. Okay. So in Leica, I pulled in this right edge because. You can see this default edge here, just way too far out from the L's. And I don't want to change the size of the typography. I don't want to change the point size to fit into the box. So I'd rather adjust the right side of the box to accommodate the letters when in the rare instances that they're too narrow or too wide to fill the space. So with no further ado, let's adjust this one here. W, you're such a big, fat, wide letter. Good Lord. Let's see. We'll say that's good for now. Okay. And if orange is going to be the color of this card. All these colors are temporary for now. Let's see, and the pronunciation for White Dwarf is White Dwarf, Megs. It's just literally the word White Dwarf without an H. I mean, I guess that's how you pronounce it. It's just White Dwarf without an H. Yeah, I don't know how you say White Dwarf. I got nothing better. I just think it's funny. It's a funny thing. Yeah, the spreadsheet has worked out well as far as getting everything together. We started it at first just to figure out what words we were going to use, and then once we settled on the words that we were going to use, we blew it out into this whole big spreadsheet that Megs has been filling out mostly. Ah. Wait, why? What? Why won't you be a color? That's very weird. It's like that one letter grayscale. Is that a thing? Shite. A shite dwarf. Good typo. Let's see. Let's try this again. And the definition of a white dwarf is a star that is no longer burning fuel. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and post Shovel Knight onto the tweeters. Free time, Sci-Fi Shovel Knight. Actually, I think Twitter's image compression has an easier time with PNGs. No, I just choose my artboards at random, basically. I think for a lot of Twitter stuff, I actually use 900 by 600 more often than not. But, yeah. All right, back to White Dwarf. So, stars are classified by spectral class. These dumb children's brains are going to explode when they see the word spectral. Spectral's a cool word. Children are dumb. That's why they need things like this to become less dumb. Let's see. See, some of the backs of these cards have like, yeah, see, I want something like this. That's a lot. That's lets me put 3 lines of text. Let's see. No, that's not good. What is that? All right. To be remedied later. All right. Children are born dumb, and it's our job to make them smarter. This is the way of the world. I don't know that this. I don't know if. See, I don't know if when a star burns all of its energy, its core remains the white dwarf. I guess that's different enough from the definition, isn't it? I feel like this can be worded more clearly. A white dwarf is a star's core. A white dwarf is a star's remaining core. Cards are parents that they can give their kidlet when they're being dumb. Oh boy. Alright, I'll just go with don't quit. I hit Command A a lot to select all, which is dangerously close to Command Q. So I'm like always almost quitting Illustrator when I don't mean to. It's a dangerous key binding. Shortcut. Why does this... whatever. Okay. Can you all hear me swishing water around in my mouth? That'd be weird if you could. I'm so sorry if you can hear that. All right. White dwarf. Let's get rid of all this stuff that does not pertain. White dwarfs ain't got no clouds. Good old shite dwarf. Let's see. Okay. Are there any? Let's see. Let's look up white dwarf. Yep, it's white. Or bluish. According to some. It's probably too much blue here. Let's see what we can get rid of. Oh, I messed up that gradient. There shouldn't be any up here. Maybe I don't need this second one. I don't. Wait, what the hell is going on here? What happened? What? Somehow I got two gradients there. Honest mistake. All right. And we'll make this like a little bigger than Venus just because it is a star. Even if it's just a dead star's core. It should be a little shinier than Venus, no? See, I'll make it a little smaller because it is a dwarf after all. It's just a little baby. All right. All right, sleeping face. We'll start with the face we've made. See, his face will be like down here because he's sleeping. So I'll be like kind of slumped over sleeping. Like that gave him a little lip. Path, add anchor points. Add more anchor points. Oh, more anchor points. There aren't a ton of like linear elements in this thing, so making its eyes lines. Sleeping face illustration. What a weird thing to search for. What is that? That's a fun illustration. Sleeping on a cactus seems like a bad idea, but sure. I guess some things draw like the upper eyelids. These things. It could help make it a little more solid so it's not just a couple lines, you know? Maybe. Let's try it. Let's just try this here. Let's see, what am I doing here? I'll just try this. The worst that happens is it doesn't work. The Illuminati dwarf star. I can neither confirm nor deny Illuminati accusations. This is my strict policy. So maybe I can give it eyebrows, little sleeping eyebrows. Give him Eugene Levy eyebrows. Levy. Done. Let's see, Alex, you made bad eyebrows, Alex. They're still bad eyebrows. Maybe the eyebrows are a bad idea. The eyebrows were a bad idea the whole time. The eyebrows are dead the whole time. But it doesn't... I guess that's kind of sleeping. Let's make some Z's and see what happens. And by make some Z's, I mean type some Z's. What is this weird? It's like the Amazon logo for a mouth. It's very weird. I don't think it's supposed to be the Amazon logo, but that's totally the Amazon logo. whenever I make letters smaller, but I still want them to have the same weight. I just up the weight of the font. So I like to generally choose fonts that have like a lot of different weights so that I can adjust them accordingly as I shrink and enlarge the font so that those things kind of remain consistent. I don't know that there's enough going on here right now, but we got 15 minutes until a meeting. So I'm going to hop off here so I'm not jumping straight from a stream into a meeting. Take a few minutes, get some coffee in my system, more coffee. And yeah, so we did an early stream today. Stream's done. Stream's over today. Yeah, so again, last day, mentioned at the beginning of the stream, last day to get on that Patreon giveaway for Yoshi's Island map. I think, yep, they just, Nightbot just plugged Patreon, so I don't need to. So last day to get on that, and that's it. That's all I got for you. So thanks everyone for tuning in for the completion of Sci-Fi Shovel Knight and the beginnings of White Dwarf. And I will be back streaming on usual time on Friday. So thanks everyone for hanging out. I'll see you next time. Toodles.